Welcome to Season 2 of the Shekina Meditation Podcast, created by community members and friends of Shekina Garden in Pai, Thailand. Shekina communities are dedicated to creating free devotional spaces of Christian practice for spiritual seekers and travelers around the world. We post Christ-centered guided meditation each week to help you in your personal or small group practice. You can find episode show notes and other information at shekinacommunity.com.
Hi everyone, this is Ro and I'm with Ray. We're sitting in the garden somewhere shady, just enjoying the afternoon right now. This is Check-In episode 1, in which we just chat a little bit about what's been going on around here.
Yeah, it's February the 4th as we record this, and we used to do these kind of at the beginning of each episode, but have changed to give you a full-on chatty episode if you want one, so hope you enjoy.
Get ready for the
chattiness.
So we realized that the last one of these that we did a really proper catch-up for the podcast was back in October, so we thought we'd just let you guys know what we've been doing around Shekina Garden and what's been happening. So back then it was just in the lead up to Christmas, I guess, and it was just us Kaisers and Ray and Chinua Ford and the kiddos. Mm-hmm. And we decided we'd go ahead with Christmas. Cases here in Thailand were quite low at that stage, so we thought, yes, let's do it. Let's just be careful. So we did lots of precautions and everything.
Yeah.
And we had a beautiful night. It was so beautiful. We had way more people than we thought would come.
Yeah.
It was really quiet.
Were surprised.
Yeah, it was really quiet in town. And so we thought, we were talking the days before, how many should we plan for? We have no idea. Maybe 80? Maybe 80 will come, like twice as many as were coming for lunch.
Yeah.
We're having 35, 40, so 80 would be amazing if we had 80.
Yeah.
And then
we just kept counting people, and probably there were about 120 people there, and probably more. That's about how many dishes we counted giving out.
How many plates went out. Yeah.
Yeah. But people were showing up into the night. And one of the things we had done was not advertise.
That's
because
right.
Normally we would kind of flyer the town and be like, let's get hundreds of people here. But this time we were like, well, we just won't advertise to keep it small-ish. Yeah, but it was really unexpected and very beautiful. It was a really beautiful night.
Yeah, it was special. We did a big vegetarian feast, lots of yummy food, and we had friends come and help us chop salad and all that sort of stuff. We had some hot drinks, and then we had this beautiful night together where we had planned a program. Kind of sounds funny, but kind of a program, I guess, of stories and poetry and songs in harmonies, and by songs I mean carols. That Ray had sort of coordinated this beautiful program of gorgeous things, and we shared with all our friends. And we got to share about what Christmas means to us. It's a real special festival for us, so we got to really just talk about it a lot. It was gorgeous.
We have done stuff like this in the past, and we did a lot the same as normal to keep from having to do too much extra creation when we were already... last year we mentioned we had like 16 adults helping with Shekina Garden last year, and this year there were 4 of us, so we definitely were running around a lot.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And so we just kept it pretty simple, kept it similar to what we've done in the past. But I've posted the story that I read with Ro. Both of us read it, and we kind of interspace poems and songs and stuff like that. But then while we were serving the food, the pastor from a local church in Namhu came, and he's someone that we've known for many years, that Ro and Naomi have spent a lot of time getting to know. Really donating. They have a children's home, donating money and time and volunteering at the children's home, doing teaching and stuff like that. They came to Christmas, and he came and said, so what time do you want us to sing? Which was not in the plan. but we rolled with it.
Yep.
And they started, and I think they would have just kept going if we hadn't given them the signal that it was time. But it was really amazing and loud and wild, and they danced. They did some dances. They did some songs.
Like to some pumped out music. They brought their own little speaker.
Yeah, they
and, like,
had a little...
pumped out their like super pop, bouncy music.
Yeah.
And it was very energetic and not really the vibe that we'd planned.
Yeah.
But it was gorgeous and everyone went crazy, like cheering for them. And like, we're talking kids from like 4 years up to 16 years. So like such a range.
Yeah.
And they all like really cheering each other on as well, which is
so sweet.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Just kids just jumping around and singing and dancing.
And they stuck around for quite a while after that. I was surprised. They said that they had to leave early, but then they hung out for our thing as well. So that was really nice.
It was great to have that, that presence. They brought a lot of energy.
They did bring a lot of energy. So we got a lot of great feedback from that night, and we were very full, very enriched. What do you call that? Vibrating with life and power and goodness. Feeling really good.
Yeah.
And right away, we started having it. We had a break. We have our normal Christmas day, which is quite quiet with the families, and usually we just get together quietly in the evening on Christmas Day. And then it was like really soon that we had the first of our second wave, which started with a day of like 500 cases of COVID in Thailand, which was after months of 0 cases.
Yeah, up until that point, we'd only had like 4,000 nationwide the whole year. So that was a big deal.
That was a big deal to get 500 in one day. And so they started really making some quick restrictions. We had already had a break planned for the next Sunday, but it ended up being about 5 more weeks that we didn't have any more community lunch, which felt not so fun.
Yeah.
It was a hard call to make. I mean, we did what we felt like we had to do, and what was the best thing to do. But just because everyone was so excited to be together, and we normally have this post-Christmas time where people really come to the garden and they really enjoy being here. And it's a beautiful thing after we've been able to just really express so much of what our devotion to Jesus is all about on Christmas, to kind of be able then to continue to be a space of welcome. With sometimes new people that we haven't met before. Like, it's just such a nice time right after Christmas. It's like a beautiful thing. So that was sad.
Yeah, we felt that.
Yeah.
We felt the loss of that time.
We felt it.
It was hard.
And had to do that thing where we just adjust our expectations, because we have been in a place that hasn't been as affected in some ways by the virus. Just reminding ourselves that this is still happening everywhere. And I know you guys who are listening to this might be really experiencing it a lot in your daily lives. And so living in solidarity with that. And so during that time, we just kept busy. Ro?
Yeah, we did like a lot of the smaller type group things that we would normally do here through the week. So we still meditated. We still did lots of gardening. We had a little bit more, time and space for more time in the garden.
Yeah.
We also, Ray and I have been running this beautiful small women's circle since like May last year, reading through the Jesus Storybook Bible and having amazing conversations. Like, it's this beautiful Bible. It's like for kids, right? But then we end up having these deep, adult, real, true, theological kind of conversations every week, and just going deep with this small group of women that we just love. And it's been such a beautiful community thing to do together. So we finished that book. We have read all the way through, read all the stories, talked about all the different little stories that are in that book, and meditated on them and prayed for each other. Highly recommend, by the way. Yeah, it's a really great, easy book to read with a bunch of friends. It's a winner. So we kept doing that little group, and we finished off that book, and then we've started another book by that same author, Sally Lloyd-Jones, is that her name? Am I getting that right?
That's right.
Yeah, called Thoughts to Make Your Heart Sing, which is sort of a little devotional book. We've just started that, just 1 or 2 weeks of that, and it's been lovely so far.
It has been, and we could really go for a long time since we're only reading one a week.
That's true. Yeah. And we also, during that time, like since we last caught up with you, we read through the whole of World Whisperer, which is the first in your series, right? Your Young Adult series. We did that at Craft and Noon Tea, so you and I swapped back and forth reading a few chapters each week. And it was so fun, and we had lots of people coming in and out. That's a time where we just sit and work on our own little projects. You know, maybe people are painting or crocheting or doing all different sorts of handiwork or patching things or fixing things. And we just listen to a story together. And sometimes we've done podcasts in the past or non-fiction books or... Yeah, so we really
This
enjoyed...
one was a read aloud.
Yeah.
We read it aloud.
Yeah, so it wasn't someone else, it was one of us reading.
Yeah.
And it was one of our stories that one of us have written. So it was like a vulnerable time, right? Like it was pretty full on to do, but it was beautiful. And those of us who were there, we enjoyed it a lot. It was, rich to be able to read it together and talk about it. Yeah,
I was revisiting how vulnerable it is to read your own work aloud, but it was really beautiful and I have like the most supportive couple of women. My daughter and Ro were just be super supportive every single time. So that was really sweet.
If you haven't read those books, you guys, you really should.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. They're just beautiful stories. They're very like heart-warming, heart-opening. They make you think about spiritual things, but in a really easy, accessible way that's not scary and not within our world. Like it's set in a different universe, so it just makes things really lovely to think about in a fresh way.
Thanks, Ro. That's really kind. It was really interesting practice to also have to we recapped what had happened for people who were just visiting each week, and as the book went on, it just got more and more and more that we had to recap.
Like so, a 10-minute recap.
Yeah, like tell the story in your own words. Yeah, really, really crazy.
It was a good challenge. Yeah.
So that was our quietness during the off season, or during this time that we were closed for community lunch. And I have found more and more like what community lunch means as sort of a part of our, like almost like the hub of what we do here at the garden.
Yeah.
We have all these beautiful practices, but the hospitality is not nothing. It's not like
it's huge.
Just something. It's actually a really big part of,
it means so much.
who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even
to people.
The way we do it, I think really reflects like we've tried to make it reflect our faith and our love and God's love for us. And being away from it just reminds me of what it means. Yeah. And I'm thankful for it.
It's such a gift that we love to give to people and that people love to receive. So it's like win-win-win.
Win-win-win.
It really is.
So then we almost didn't want to think about it because we weren't sure if it was going to happen or not. And this past year and a bit has taught us that we should just go day by day and not have too many high expectations.
Right.
But the Prideies flew into the country, into Thailand on the 29th of January. And after 2 weeks... Oh, December. That's right, December.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks in quarantine, they were able to come back to us. So they had been gone since March of last year. And... just got stuck. Stuck in Australia.
They intended to be just there for 3 months, just for a visit, check in with family and friends and supporters, and then come back.
Yeah,
but
and
then
if you don't
got a pandemic.
Yes. If you don't know who they are some of the founders of this community and in Pi, and just some of our dearest friends, like our long-term fam community member fam.
That's it.
And so we miss them to death, and especially Jasper and Isaac, my son Isaac and Jasper Pride, have known each other since they were in the womb. They would maybe say, or since they were newborns, since they were babies. And so they really, really, they're our next door neighbors, and they really loved getting to see each other again.
It's huge. It's just a huge thing when we're used to lots of people coming and going, but some people being the ones who are always here.
Yeah.
And then those ones are not here.
Yeah.
It's weird. It feels really weird and wrong.
It shifted everything a little bit under our feet.
So it's wonderful to have them back. And so they're just getting their feet. They needed to do a lot of sorting out of their house and cleaning up and getting themselves just landing back in their home, that just is what they're at right now. They're just working out homeschooling and all their stuff, visa things, and what their weekly rhythms are going to look like. And so they're doing the settling in thing at the moment, which is a lot of work and a lot of energy.
It's a lot adjustment to come back to Thailand.
Yeah, sure.
It really is.
It sure is.
I remember it. It's always like you kind of blink, like, whoa, this is my home.
Yeah.
Oh. And then after a while, it feels completely normal again, and you can't even remember what the other place looks like or feels like. But we had fun preparing for them to come, getting flowers and making it beautiful and washing things.
That's
and then
right.
they had a big deep clean
Yeah.
after as well. So there was a whole day at first where they weren't sure if they would have to quarantine again
Right.
after coming back to our village.
Ugh.
But they didn't.
Thank
and
goodness.
that day they sort of started digging into like the cupboards and finding mold and finding things that were in there after almost a year away, which is I think survived quite
Quite well.
remarkably.
Yeah, true.
But Isaac wanted to be with them so much that he just sat on the ground outside their fence talking to them all day long. He literally sat in that place. He would come home and grab some food and bring it back to eat with him over there. And so we were all very happy that they were able to get out that night, that the doctors here said, oh, you've already done a quarantine. You don't need to do another one. That was really good.
Oh, it's such a beautiful thing. Like watching your kids and their kids like fall back in with each other and just run around constantly all day. Like it's beautiful. They're
So
like
great.
They're like family. They're like cousins or even siblings. Like
Yeah.
they've been next door neighbors for ages and close since
Close
they were
friends
tiny.
since they were little. They don't
Yeah.
remember not knowing each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then last week, we finally felt ready and safe to have our first community lunch again after the second wave.
Which was delightful. We had more people than we expected as well. We really didn't know how many folks would come along.
Yeah.
Again, it's really quiet. We've had, particularly in the last month, we've had a lot more smoke than we normally do. So our valley has been quite smoky, like getting a bit nasty. So a lot of folks who are just traveling or living within Thailand have moved away earlier than normal. So it's quieter than even
Very
Christmas.
quiet.
Yeah, like
and they kind of cut down travel too, so
that's right.
everything has been quiet everywhere.
Yeah, so we thought, it could just be us plus a few friends. And it ended up being like, I think that was 35 or something.
Yeah, it's so
it was
funny how
lovely.
news travels so fast, because I know a lot of those people they're not like part of the Facebook group or whatever. They just somehow hear about it
It's
and
great.
then they're back. It's so great.
And it's a we really get reminded at those moments it's such a small town.
It is.
Small town, there's not so much happening around at the
No.
moment. So a big free lunch where everyone's going to hang out and make music and the kids are going to run around together and you can sit and have good chats with people. Of course, why would you not want to go to such a thing?
yeah, it was great. It was,
Yeah.
and that was a heart-lifting moment for sure.
Feels good to be back.
And the other thing was that we had this amazing rain, like for 2 days before that, and so the sky was clear and
the smoke
everything
was
was
gone.
green again, and just a gift.
Yeah, we often have this like one day of rain or one storm in January, and it really makes such a difference because we haven't had any rain since like October, I guess. And things are getting dry around here, so one day of rain makes a difference. Everything's kind of bursting fresh again. Like, just look at these mulberries just that we're sitting under here.
That's true.
These did not have leaves on them 2 weeks ago,
Wow.
and they're just fresh again.
Oh, they've actually got tons of flowers on them too. There's going to be lots of berries.
They're going to fruit up.
Wow.
Yay!
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's such a gift. We really appreciate rain in January, February, March. Any bit that we can get.
We suspect that'll be the last we see of it until May, I guess.
I don't know. I was looking at the forecast and it was forecasted for next week. So let's
Oh my
see.
gosh, that'd be glorious.
Wouldn't
yes,
that be
more
great?
please, more please.
Yeah. No, I hope not. Like the smoky season is always way better if we get at least one rain in March or February.
Yep. Oh, that'd be
So
great.
much better. I think it's been good just to see these gifts as gifts. Just every little bit that you can drink up, every little tiny moment that feels good and is when you feel the nearness of God in some small way has been really good for us this season, I think.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've found a little bit more about, at least I've understood a bit more about what this community means, not just to me, but and to us as like the people who are making it run, but to the wider community, you know, that it's precious and it's a safe place for people, and it's a place to explore ideas, and it's a place to come and be yourself and come and think about things together, or just come and play in the garden, come and bring your gifts that you have, and oh man, I love that. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah. We want it to be like a voice of who God is in the world, that these incredible arms of love that are open and ready for people to come into. And to say that this is what God wants. Is for you to be loved
Yeah.
as people come draw near.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's about it, I think, for today. We will have more for you maybe in about 4 weeks' time. So I hope you enjoyed this catch-up check-in. And yeah, let us know if there's anything more you want to hear about, any questions you have for us or
Yep.
anything like that. We'd be happy to answer them.
Totally. Yeah, and get in touch. Let us know if you've been meditating, if you've been listening or getting together with friends if you're in a part of the world that can do that.
Yeah.
Or listening with your housemates or anything like that. Yeah, we'd love to hear about it. And
We would love it.
We just hope that this podcast continues to just be a blessing and be useful and interesting. We love the practice. We get so much out of doing it, and we love sharing it with you. So thanks for listening. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks so much. Thank you for joining today. There will be a new guided meditation available each week, so don't forget to subscribe to iTunes or sign up for our newsletter to get podcasts delivered to your inbox at www.shekinacommunity.com/podcast newsletter. Also, you can rate or review on iTunes or sign up as a patron at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast. Have a beautiful week. Many blessings to you.